They say that Friday is proof that we survived the week, but here on Jasiri, Friday is proof that we're still paying attention and we're still questioning because we have energy to give this week one last push. So welcome one, welcome all to your Friday Hot Topics. On Fridays, we do more than sip tea. We spill some truths loudly, unapologetically, and with just the right amount of side-eye. So whether you came for the drama, the dialogue, or the depth, you're in the right place. Now let's turn up the volume on some of the week's top stories. This is Jasiri, this is Hot Topics Friday, and this is your invitation to feel, think, laugh, and maybe even rethink. But first,
well, it's Friday, and I think yesterday I saw a post by an influencer, I think Salem King. He was talking about the people who make it their life's duty, their mission, to jump queues. And, you know, I was just questioning why Nigerians are like that. And I raised the topic in the makeup studio. And then, unfortunately for me, there is actually somebody here
who's a queue jumper.
Who is a queue jumper.
No, so a chronic queue jumper.
Let's hear it for... So yes, I'm very curious to know. I know you started the conversation, but like I want to understand what goes on in your mind because I need to understand people like you.
So first is nervousness and anxiety. If 10 people are on a queue and it's straight, you need to know what's happening. So you're the type that you want to.
Don't say you need to say personalize it. Say I need.
Why do you need to know what's happening?
So it moves faster when you know.
Oh, does it?
Yes,
That's what goes on in her mind.
Yes.
I don't understand.
So you can easily say, guys, what's happening? You know, but if you're at the back of someone, you're looking, it's empty. You're like, what's happening? Is something wrong in front? But like, if you move close, if you just tilt, it's called tilting.
Okay. It's even a terminology.
It doesn't work because, you know, I've told you guys. So one, I don't like people in my personal space. I love personal space, and that's one of the reasons you rarely catch me in markets. I can count on the number of my fingers how many markets I've been into since I got married. Once I finish wedding shopping, you cannot pay me. And so I grew up in a country, in a society that responded to personal space and respected it. Nigerians don't.
It doesn't even exist.
It doesn't exist.
Like what's personal space?
It doesn't matter where you are. It does not exist. Especially when you're in line is the worst place. People are pushing. People are into.
If I have someone like me in front of me and she moves, I have to, you know, feed my own anxiety. I have to.
If you move, I move. You want to be doing like Ludacris.
So do you need to be inside her skin?
Not really.
So why is it? But wait, do you move like that if it's a man in front of you?
Yes.
Oh.
It's not subject to gender. You move, I move. You move, I move. But we don't have to touch.
No, I'll look at you. I'll turn around and be like, what's going on?
I can
That's the
ask
problem.
you.
She may be one of the few people who doesn't touch. A lot of people, so many people. You are breathing down my neck.
So that's the problem. She doesn't touch because they don't intentionally touch. It's just if I move a little, I will feel her as ahead of my skull.
I was going to ask you, because I'm also like T. Don't stay by yourself. Because I move doesn't mean you need to move. Sometimes I might just be moving because I need a bit of space between me.
I barely, if I meet the person minutes after, I might not know the person's face. But if you move, I move. It's reflex.
If the person,
because even so, if
the person is not smelling their best,
no.
Do you
smell that? Movie is subjective.
There you go.
So movie is subjective.
So again, to be honest, I think that they don't do it intentionally. So there was a time that when my brother was younger. Now he's the complete opposite. There was a time that if he wants to sleep, then it was him, myself, my mom on the bed. Whoever is close to him, if he wants to sleep, he slides his hands on the bed into your tummy. If his hand is not like the warmth of your tummy. It's not on he can't sleep. So he will just slide his hand. I can't remember, but I just know at some point.
Was he an adult when he stopped?
I don't know. But I know that, I don't know when it stopped because at some point we all stopped sleeping on the same bed. But I know that even if it's
not touching you,
he would just go like this. And his hand must be under. So I think at some point my mom started putting a pillow there for him. So she would just put like a warm pillow there.
It doesn't have to, no.
I cannot understand. You see, my house alone tells you the kind of person I am. Once you're coming, the first rug you see is welcome-ish. like, if I didn't invite you, stay away. Like, it's literally people are always, someone came to the WhatsApp, we were like, Blessings, what is wrong with you? And then there's a sign that says, if you didn't call first, just keep moving. You know, so things like that. I do not want anyone around me. So I don't understand how people like you think. You're the kind of person in Lagos that once the light goes green, even if you're 5 cars away, you start honking your car.
I don't like us, so you know.
So what would you
That's
do?
why you won't do it, but you would have done it.
If you had an option, you would have done an option, you know, that's not horns. You would have honked.
I'm
now.
probably the type that would have, you know, maybe a stink message at the back of my glass to just say maybe, you know, something.
Meet me in front of
So I went to the movies. You know, I told you I used to like doing movies in the afternoon when I was on radio. I like it when it's empty, almost empty.
Yes.
And I've been the only person in the theater before. I did not scare myself. But I went to the movies one time, and we were probably like 5. I was one of the first people to get there. I sat down, Auntie. Why did you come and sit right? Not a seat away, not 2 seats away, in a theater of what, maybe 100 seats. Why did you come and sit with? If you see the nasty
is it
eye,
a girl?
it was a woman. You see the nasty eye. I just looked at her and said, Shekosi. She didn't answer me. The movie started. I carried my bag and moved. Because part of that whole experience to me was nobody to be around me.
Oh no, I would have.
Do you know
told
she
you
moved closer to me?
Are you serious?
It must have been you.
I would have told, at that point, I would have told you I had a contagious disease. Like, I'll just, or maybe just be on a call. Me more, but yeah, COVID then. Whether you don't be COVID.
So you guys are the ones. So Lois, I would say, are you the kind of person that if you were in a relationship, you'd like to cuddle, you'd like to be, you know, like.
Yes and no. I just want to know that you're here, and not more than physically. So maybe your hand is on my lap, or you know, something has to be touching.
Are you a cuddler?
Not really, but like just, you know, do
How many
this,
percentage
do
cuddle?
this. Just play with,
Who are you asking these questions for?
You.
You're asking the questions for me.
So both of you, are you guys cuddlers? Because, you know, personal space, does it affect? I want to know if
What's that? You know, I said it a few years ago. I got over touched out.
Yes.
In all honesty, from child and husband, I was over touched out. It was a lot. And so I was trying to claim back my personal touching space. So now I'm the one who's seeking, like, okay, just hold my hand. And Courtney, you guys know, Courtney is extremely affectionate, even though that's my fault.
Velcro
like
baby.
that. Yeah, she's a clingy. She wants to hold hands, and I love it. But sometimes she's like, so, I don't know. It's weird.
It's the same thing. I think everybody gets that. Blessings, from the eye you are giving me, I can't even begin to ask you.
No, so no. To be honest, well, the truth is, I actually love cuddles. It's just let it be synchronized, right? After 1 hour, just you know, don't slip off cuddling me. No, we cock you on your head.
But I can move out of, you know.
Have you not seen people, they draw you back in? Like, as you move out, you come back in.
Are you people not hot?
Where are you going? No, I mean, yeah.
Catherine hasn't said everything she needs to say on this conversation. Guys, we wanted to start lighthearted and everything because we have some...
Oh, God.
We have Nigerian stories to get through. Are we ready for a break? Are you ladies ready for this?
Yeah.
Are we done?
We're done.
I think.
Except for the people, Blessings confessed off air. She called her cleaning lady. Please stop turning.
Come on now. Like, I have to tell her.
So all these cups now, everything has to be like this.
It doesn't have to be like that, right? But so the thing is,
Imagine we're getting demonstration.
so here's the thing. If you are doing it like this, let it be like this. It shouldn't be like, why? Why is this?
It's the same thing Tab is saying.
That whatever direction, it must all align.
If you're doing it this way, let it be like this. So that we'll know that it's... You can't... How are you living your life
So how
like
about
this?
2 of them like that? Like Tab showed
That's okay. Let it be straight. In fact, if you want it far apart, just... You know,
let them
it
be.
can't... So it can't be like this. It has to be like this. You know? I don't know how people live their lives. It's just funny.
And I thought mine was bad.
We'll leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have stories for you. We're going to touch base with an update on Speed Darlington's issue at this point, which seems to be now becoming a bigger case. We also want to get into the comments made by Senator Orji Uzokalu that have Nigerians in a furrow. But was he really talking to all Nigerians or some Nigerians? And then the story that has gotten international attention about a stepfather, a graduation, and being left out. But first, after the break, WAEC, late nights, lamps, phone, flashlights. We'll give you the updates because we thought we were past all this with JAM, but apparently we're not. Stay with us.
All right, join the conversation on social media. We are at News Central TV. Now, first up on the agenda, just when you thought we were past the JAM technical glitch and receipt saga, we find yet another story about exams that are rites of passage for millions of Nigerian students. On Wednesday evening, videos hit social media showing parents waiting for their children who were writing the 2025 WAEC examination. Just look at the candles and flashlights, for Christ's sake. Now, that's really not anything unusual. What is unusual is the time. Now, the post shared by at omolomo_o on X showed students sitting for the exam, the English language examination, not during school hours, but at night in near total darkness. Now, he wrote, "This is a school WAEC center in Nigeria currently. They're writing WAEC now. It is 9:42 p.m. and the students forced to use lamps to write their English WAEC exam in total darkness. The visuals are stark, students bent over desks, some sharing torchlights, others relying on phone flashlights just to see their answer sheet. Their determination is palpable, so is the discomfort." As the post gained traction, ex-users across the country began chiming in, confirming this wasn't a one-off. From Delta to Taraba to Osun to Katsina, similar scenes emerged. Let's take a look at some of the reactions.
Everybody will go.
We're told to buy candles in my younger sister's school. The officials with the questions came past 8 for a 2 hours examination. Very crazy. Imagine getting home past 10 for a country that is not safe. This absolutely frustrating. Just left school some minutes ago. Something is wrong with Nigeria education. We start exam around 2:30 p.m. due to some talk about question leak out. They bring the second essay part exactly 6:58 p.m. What a day. The parents needed to unite and refuse the conduct of that exam instantly. This is where mediocrity begins. Will the parents go for job interview at the time of the night if they weren't politicians? So many wrongs. I was so cross when I got home from the office and found out my sister wasn't back. Called her and she said they insisted all of them must write the exams. I had to go pick her up from school myself. Got home past 9 p.m. yesterday. The Nigerian educational system. Shaking my head. We have failed our next generation. First, it was JAM in Lagos and 5 southeastern states. Next is WAEC across 36 states and FCT. Yet no one will resign or get fired for this abnormal situation. Our leaders will continue to enjoy and move on like nothing serious happened. Why should children write exams into midnight in a country where there is widespread insecurity? Widespread. I can't believe this. WAEC English paper slated for 8 a.m. just arrived Osogbo 8 p.m. WTF. When will those WAEC papers get to Ifetedo, Ila, Iwo, all these other towns? Area 5, my God, shouldn't our country be this? Won't be surprised of the defenders of inequity come with, it happens in other countries too. Let's keep defending mediocrity in the country. I want us to go back to that video we saw. I think it was a group of parents and people. Let's get that video and just get a sense of what the situation was.
Everybody will go. I don't know why.
All right, so this is a really I don't even have the words right now, but just to give you some more updates, the House of Representatives have given WAEC, that's the House of Representatives Committee on Basic Education and Examination Bodies, issued a 24-hour ultimatum to the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, to appear before it today, Friday, over concerns surrounding the ongoing senior school certificate examination. Now, they did this after WAEC failed to honor an earlier invitation to appear before the panel. And of course, there are a number of things. So WAEC is under fire as exam chaos sparks outrage. A number of people are asking questions, and we just got through the issue with JAM. And it's not just in Taraba. We're seeing that this happened in Jakande in Lagos State. It happened in Delta State as well. It happened across the country where people were writing exams onto the late hour. Not people, students, children. I need to emphasize that, not people. Let's not think it's adults. Students, children, writing exams into the late hours of the night. And even if the country is a safe country, even if you can walk from Ikorodu to Surulere, even if there's safety, it is wrong. So let's not just make it it's an unsafe country, that's why it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen, period, at all.
This lack of structure is really getting out of hand. And it's funny because it's like double standards. JAM is telling you to come at 6 a.m. to write exam. This exam was slated for afternoon. So we're not even talking about the hours on end that these students had to sit and wait. In fact, waiting that long can even take out what you've read from your mind. It's so disheartening to see that this is happening. It has trickled down from the government to governance, now to children who are supposed to be writing exams. This exam was supposed to be done and dusted before evening, but they're using, for you to even be telling them to come with candles. The exam was slated for afternoon. That means you already knew that there was going to be a delay.
Do you know how dangerous that is to say come with candles, unsupervised? There are lots of paper there. There's children there. There's parents who are just waiting outside, not knowing what's going to happen to their children. And they are there because of the insecurity. Like I say on this table, everybody, every citizen of the country has become a mini government unto themselves. People are taking the welfare of themselves, their families, into their hands. What are children, like Blessings asked, what are children doing writing exams at 8 p.m.? In one of the tweets, the girl said, paper that was supposed to arrive at 8 a.m. arrived at 8 p.m. Does that even make sense? What happens to, okay, let's defer these papers and write it tomorrow in the light of the morning where children can come in refreshed. Do you know that with the economic hardships people are facing, some of those children may not have eaten? Because they said, oh, you know, they know how hard it is for their parents, and they just wanted to write the exams. It is already difficult that not every parent can send their children to school. The ones that are saying, okay, let us even try, you are frustrating them in the process. How does this even make sense? In a country where we claim, there's so many, there are paradoxes of sorts, and there are so many, it's terrible. It's something we should be feeling shame for. Really.
And then on the part of the parents, I won't necessarily blame them, because I think someone said parents should come together and refuse. I won't blame them, because in Nigeria, it's not every fight that is won. At the end of the day, the parents will fight and fight. They will now say things like, oh, other people's children wrote the exams. Your children did not. There's nothing we can do for you. So it's always a guesstimate. Oh, we don't know what will happen. We don't. Let them just write it. That's why we're here.
So there was a school in Jakande. So that was one of the tweets that caught our attention on this particular story. And it said, Jesus, this is happening right now in Jakande Estate, Lagos. Parents have been locked out from the school where their children went to write WAEC since morning. It's almost 10 p.m. and they don't even know what's happening. When did WAEC become like this? And so the House of Reps is there. Let's remember that WAEC is not just a Nigerian exam. It's West African Examinations Council. So that is a senior secondary school exam for all West African students who fall under the WAEC agreement or whatever it may be. And I'm just wondering, this is the same WAEC that after the whole CBT issue with JAM said that they want to go to CBT from. Is it next year or the next exam? How do you give people the trust and the confidence that you know what to do? And I'm still looking for a statement from WAEC.
Yes.
And did this happen in other countries?
I wanted to say, because WAEC has been doing distribution for years, more than 30 years. And every time, we have, cases of papers getting late to state, it is not an excuse, because what you've been doing this, you should be able to do this, with one eye closed. Why, even if you're going to have some hours late, not 12 hours.
Come on.
Without communication to the parents. Abba.
And then locking them out. I just want to say that if I hear one more man proposes, God disposes, I'm going to lose it.
Honestly.
So whatever statements, if you will have to delay for 1 week to come up with something reasonable, you should.
This is WAEC. And no one say, do you know, it's just I think it's just seasonal. We just came through. In fact, we never even really come out our leg for JAM. We haven't really moved away from JAM. Now WAEC is bringing about this new cinema film, and we know that the next set of exams written is NECO. So what then happens? Should we
It
now
bleeds. It's
expect?
contagious.
No, it'll be all night.
So no, that's the point they make. Mediocrity is contagious.
Yes.
And a lack of consequences is contagious.
lack of
So let's do
consequences.
two things. Sam Adeyemi had a statement on this, but as I was just looking, I wanted to check. WAEC had not released a statement until now. 36 minutes ago, WAEC has released a statement. But let's take the video from Sam Adeyemi. Then we'll look at what WAEC is saying.
Played this video of students of a secondary school that were writing an exam, and because the start was delayed, they had to write the exam into the night. And these young kids were using candles and torchlights to write their exam. And I said it on TV. I said it was somewhere else where there was value for children, knowing that children don't have less value than adults. I said that was enough to shut down the country. What goes into a mind comes out in a life. If you want to know what the country will look like in 30 years' time, that's it. We're developing cultural taste for mediocrity for them. You wonder why one of them becomes a senator, member of the House of Reps or governor, and completely loses feeling for poor people. That's where it starts from.
We are developing a taste for a culture for mediocrity. What did we just say? Absolutely spot on. And I think it's something we need to take cognizance of. So what is WAEC saying? So they've released a press release and they said WAEC acknowledges the challenges currently being faced during the conduct of the WASEC for School Candidate 2025, including the delay in the timely conduct of English Language Paper 2, which was taken today. So you're today, this thing, it's signed May 28th. Released on their timeline 36 minutes ago. Let's think about that. Anyway, while maintaining the integrity of security of our exams, we face considerable challenges primarily due to our major aim of preventing leakage of any paper. While we successfully achieved our objective, it inadvertently impacted the timeliness and seamless conduct of the examination. Despite our best efforts, we encountered logistical hurdles, security concerns, and social-cultural factors.
What?
Huh? Sociocultural factors that negatively influenced our operations. In order to forestall future occurrences of this nature, the Council is currently collaborating with security agencies. We recognize the importance of timely conduct of examinations and the impact of this decision on the candidates, their schools, and their parents. And we sincerely apologize for any inconveniences caused. The WAEC appreciates the understanding and support of all stakeholders during this period. We remain committed to upholding the highest standard in the conduct.
It's all right. It's all right. You lost me at. We thank you for your knowledge.
at the beginning.
What is the social cultural? I want to understand.
Yes.
Because that sounds like a blame game about to happen.
It's I think what they say this day, you are patronizing us.
Yes.
You just accept, you think, so let's look at it this way. In your minds now, Nigerians have forgiven you in advance. So let us put these unfortunate incidents behind us and move on. Comme si de rien n'était. As if there was nothing that happened. We should just keep on. And that is because what? We are developing a taste for the culture of mediocrity.
And this thing that somebody said, honestly, especially that last part where he talked about children getting into power and losing empathy. I never really thought about it until now. I'm not saying that the people in power now are justified, but think about it. As a child, you were never prioritized. Your country did not care about you. Your society did not care about you. You had never gone to a place of power like that before. So when you get to that place, you're like, well, everybody will survive. Everybody will be fine. I've never really experienced this, so I'm going to immerse myself in it and experience and enjoy as much as I can. And unfortunately, that's the reality. We are literally breeding a generation that is, because when we say things like Nigerians know how to adapt, the only way you can adapt fully to a reality that should literally hurt you is when you shut down your feelings. And unfortunately, subconsciously or consciously, that's happening to all of us because now we're so used to poverty. We're so used to people dropping out of school. We're so used to people unaliving themselves.
And we're so used to people moving on.
Exactly. So children grow up in that
you only
society
had one task. Once a year, you had one task. So also with JAM, so also with NECO. Guys, you have one task. If you had a task to say you're doing Anowambe every year once, trust me, these things will not happen.
What are we talking about? Even the election, that's one of the most important things in the country, is never properly planned. You're now talking about WAEC and NECO.
So the statement talks about security concerns, and that's what it's and they didn't want, and they wanted to prevent leakage, which is one of the reasons they stated that they're moving to CBT as well. And we know that JAM has been quite successful. Lois, you said it. JAM has been quite successful in addressing the issue of leaked papers and questions and everything because of CBT. But it's the same children that have, is it not the same children taking, a lot of them taking JAM that are majorly going to take WAEC, right?
Yeah.
It's the same children. It's the same children that lack access
Yes.
to computers throughout the year that will take it with JAM and now are going to go and use it again with WAEC. Aside from that, what are the security concerns? So this is a masterpiece in saying a lot without saying anything.
At all.
It's a masterpiece in not being apathetic and then trying to point the fingers. WAEC should have taken all the blame. Leave the social cultural factors at play. As soon as you put children at night in places where some parents had to stay, in places where guardians had to go and pick them up, you took responsibility for everything that went wrong. This statement is not at all in any way empathetic to the situation you put those kids through and to what is now happening. What are the I'm waiting.
Exactly.
Because it
What
feels
are
like
the
somebody put that in to say the part of this is their fault.
What are the socio-cultural Guinea? Mais vous n'avez pas pensé. Non, ça me dérange déjà. No, these are the same students who are writing exams in the night are still going to write the next morning.
Yes.
The same students, the children are on cruise control. As in, they're just programmed, they're just going. Let me just get through these exams and know I'm done with it. Let me just get through these exams and know I'm done with it. And like I said earlier, they're still NECO. How much more can you push children? How much?
And we just had Children's Day. And we just had a president who talked about wanting to put the children first and doing an anti-bullying campaign and everything. The JAM is there. We're letting that one go. You know that it's gone now. WAEC is here. Are we going to see the head of WAEC coming to apologize to Nigerians?
It's
Come
literally a pattern, because I remember when we were celebrating Women Month, that was the
was
height of disrespect for women. Now it's around Children's Day, Children's Month, and they're showing the height of disrespect for children, unfortunately.
I don't know. All right, we want to enter gear 2 with this, but we need to take a quick time out. We'll discuss and then come back to you guys in just a moment. Stay with us.
Oh, Lord, no, man. This is Jasiri. So for every few headlines you see in Nigeria, there is a Nigerian politician making headlines for something they have said. And this week was no different. Senator Orji Uzo Kalu, representing Abia North, is making headlines after defending President Bola Tinubu's economic policies. This he did at the National Assembly earlier this week, where the former two-time governor of Abia State acknowledged that Nigerians are indeed going through a hard time, but he says, be patient. According to him, the reforms will pay off, just not yet. Those aren't the words that got Nigerians riled up. Watch this. He was asked what was convincing him to support the president for 2027. Here's the answer that generated some controversy from Nigerians.
Let me be honest with you. You know, I'm a businessman. I'm not a politician. There are only some few things that are not happening. The indices of Mr. President's policy might not be walking down the line. People are still suffering. Yes, I agree that. But it started trickling in on the macro level. That's on the upper level, not on the lower level. So I'm hoping that in the next 2-3 years, the policies of Mr. President will trickle down and Nigerians will appreciate what Mr. President is doing. Since 1960, I'm not a sycophant. This is first president. You know, I have tank farms. This is first president that stopped subsidy. This is first president that matched the $2. That is why we are suffering. Because Nigerians are not used to working hard. We are used to getting cheap money. People sleep in their houses and use telephone and get dollar and sell it at very high rate. People sit in their houses and use their tank farms and collect paper and they make money. But this is one president who have said, if you are ready to make money, make it the right way.
Now. Daddy, if I not be you, not you now.
So wait. So when this clip started going viral, I heard Nigerians are lazy. We like free money. My hair wants to spark. I was like, is this the person who said this? But I was like, there has to be context. I went around to look for this video. And so he's having a mini press briefing in the National Assembly. And you can hear that there was a question asked. Even me, the question was, what is the question they asked him? Something around what was convincing him to support the president for 20. And you can see what he's also wearing. He wants to go and brand himself in support for the president. But
And
when
then
I
he says
listen
it's
to
sacrifice.
him, I don't think he's talking to all Nigerians. Because hold it. I don't think he's talking to all Nigerians. I think he generalized Nigerians to talk to Nigerians of his economic status, because he started by saying, I'm a businessman. I own tank farms. But
Listen,
Nigerians have gotten lazy.
let's not go there.
He gives the examples. They're used to picking up the phone. It's not me and you that pick up the phone to make money, Catherine.
No.
Bless it, it's not me and you. Is it me and you he's talking to?
So I'm sick and tired
Yes.
of people saying something and then saying that we are responsible for what we understand.
Yeah.
You are in governance. Whatever you say, you are responsible for. When you say Nigerians like easy money, I am Nigerian. I don't care what category of Nigerians you're talking about, because I know there are two kinds of people. The ones who are
The haves and have not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
the haves, and I'm trying to the ones who are using money and the one money is using, right? So you cannot come here and be saying things like Nigerians. We sit in our houses and things. I was hearing that.
Is it you?
My
Do
head
you
was-
sit in your house?
No, I'm a Nigerian. I am
you?
a Nigerian. So he didn't even say are used to making money. They say
Yeah.
he said we like free money. Who doesn't like money? So it's whatever you mean. The inference is that I, as a Nigerian, like free money.
And
say that.
people like this have to be careful about their use of words. You can see he was talking about the upper level, the lower level, and
Macro, something.
That President Tinubu's reforms are trickling to the macro. He acknowledges that they're at this level here.
Yes,
They have not
and
reached the rest of us here. Lois, sorry, I interrupted you, girl.
No. The fact that there's classism in their speech is so distracting. It reminded me of those Oga at the top statements.
See,
I'm telling you,
Nigerians
so
are not
unfiltered
lazy.
and uncooked.
Oh, my ear went like, in fact.
Campus face when he got to that part of the
I said,
statement.
no, maybe I'm not hearing you. You understand? Nigerians are not lazy. Have you seen Nigerians on the roads to sell their market? Have you seen Nigerians that defy the odds and live even when they don't feel like it?
We're looking at a
thing.
Nigerian that's branded himself. He's selling his market, President
God.
2027.
Okay.
Desmond
We have
Elliott is
reactions.
still suffering this thing. Go ask him. You shouldn't have said
But
that.
you know that I also think that
See,
let me finish what I
it's-
wanted to say. It's not okay. I also think that sometimes as Nigerians, we don't listen to understand.
Wow.
I said sometimes.
Wow.
I did not say all times.
Wow.
To break this down. Because even me,
So
when I
you are
first-
saying that we are not understanding
When
Tab.
I said this, me and Rotimi talk. When I first heard this, I was like, this should not be coming from him. Two-time
Yes.
governor of Abia State. You've gone to the National Assembly right now. It seems to retire. What bill has he put forth? What bill has he co-sponsored?
Should
What
we
have
go
you
there?
said on
Should
the
we
floor
go
of the
to-
National Assembly
should we go
that
to
is for the
orgies
benefit
of-
of?
No, should
do
we
you
go
understand
there?
that is for the benefit of the average
Should
Nigerian?
we go there?
So my thought was, it should not be coming from you, but there is always context.
Why is he not important?
We
There's
should
no
not
context.
be using, especially for someone in governance, you have no right using catchphrases. You have no right. Say what you mean what you say. I don't care what the context
Because
is.
you don't work out from when
Yes.
So semi come back out of work out from when semi come back out. So that after we understand so for tangado.
Ankara, thank you.
No, who told who do tangi ko work? Nigeria so we near the commission, we near the bully in Pantake. After me ke ba some
You've said it all. You've said it all. Thank you very much.
No, let's not go there.
Please, let's go to reactions.
He just
because
went
I feel
there
like they want
back.
to chop my head. Let's go to reactions, please. Namaste. Namaste to you too. From a man that sits as a senator and still collecting pension as a former governor, a man that has a series of unclear cases, allegedly, with the FCC, you should have put a light under yourself, sir. I work too damn hard and still I'm a proud Nigerian. Says a man that was tried, convicted, and sent to prison by the FCC for embezzling about 7 billion naira. What moral right does such a person have to say someone is lazy? Talk is cheap. Create opportunities for Nigerians and see them perform. Do your part first. So you, inside AC, making decision is working harder. Come carry concrete for sight if you think it's easy. How can they work hard to earn money with their capitals and that of their parents, relations, and well-wishers destroyed by strange economic policies? How can they work hard and earn money when Orji Kalu and his like, handfuls as they are, have dominated resources meant for the larger society to the total exclusion of others? How can they work hard and earn money when the 2025 appropriation alone, the legislators padded, looted, stole, misappropriated, cornered, diverted 6.9 trillion naira in the name of constituency projects that rarely have bearing on the life of majority citizenry. How can they work hard and earn money when their marginal propensity to consume is 100%, to save is 0%, and to invest is 0%?
Come on.
People do not. Man is speaking from his recent experience, preferably post-1999. And quite frankly, I personally would give a standing ovation to Orji Kalu tweet because as a young man, he worked very hard. During his days in the University of Maiduguri, he would bring in goods from the south to the north, and each semester for him was a business struggle because in between, he finds himself tied up in interstate trades of all sorts, from domestic supplies to electrical hardware. But people often forget where they come from. Coming from someone who benefited from Nigeria's political system, this statement sounds out of touch. The real issue isn't the people's attitude, but decades of mismanagement and lack of opportunity by those in power. This is Rich coming from a career politician. If he loved hard work so passionately, he would have left politics since 2007 and gone back to his business.
End of discussion. That's why I asked on the table, should we go there? You have a letter. If you want to pull up your CV, I'm not talking resume, your CV, so that there's details that is there. Guy, you shouldn't be saying half of the things you're saying. We all know that the piper dictates the tune, so you are just dancing to the Afrobeat rhythm that is served to you right now. And that's it. It's not, you're not talking about that because you're looking at Nigerians and wishing the best for Nigerians. No, I disagree. That's not it. And I think it's rude, I think it's condescending, and I think it is downright petty for him to come out and call Nigerians, label Nigerians lazy. God. Okay.
Because if I say anything, I might get teeth
No.
on my face. So
Don't say anything.
I'm saving the rest of my tea.
Can we move on now,
Blessings, please take us into the next. I don't know whether this is
Okay,
better
everybody,
or worse.
everybody calm. Find your inner chakra. Find it. Okay.
Chakam. If you do not know this Chakam trend, please go on social media and look for the Chakam. I've Chakam wrote to me this week. A lot of things in my Chakam. So when it happens, baby, you won't come and say that. Please go ahead.
All right. So earlier this week, Nigerian entertainer Speed Darlington found himself in the center of controversy. In a now viral Instagram live video, he appeared to boast about engaging in sexual activity with a 15-year-old girl, describing the encounter in unsettling detail. He claimed the girl bled during the act and that he tipped hotel staff to clean the sheets while he gave the girl 2,000 naira. Now, after he was called out, Darlington did another live where he claimed that he was a content creator and was simply creating content to stir up controversy, cause that's how he makes a living. Nigerians reported him to the Lagos Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. In other words, they chakamed his statement, which said that it wasn't sure if the alleged crime had happened in Lagos, and then reported to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons.
All right, so now to the updates. Speed Darlington has actually doubled down on his comments, basically saying that Nigerians are making a noise over nothing and that he is a content creator, mocking those criticizing him. He said if he knew the outrage would be huge, he would have said he had a sexual encounter with a 12-year-old, arguing that Nigerians are hypocrites and that Nigerians in the north get married to younger girls, but nobody says anything. Well, now, he can explain himself to a higher authority as NAPTIP has issued a formal summons on Wednesday inviting Speed Darlington for an interview over the content of his videos. The agency cited the Trafficking in Persons Prohibition Enforcement and Administration Act of 2015 and the Cybercrime Act of 2015. The letter from NAPTIP clearly outlines their concerns that his statements, if substantiated, may involve criminal activity, particularly sexual acts with a minor and the online dissemination of content that degrades or exploits children. Wow. Right, so here's what people had to say about this. Everything is in bad taste.
Are you just inviting on social media alone, or you sent him a copy of the invite, and that's for NAPTIP to answer? The next thing you will hear is that the video is doctored after the doubling down. Good. Please take action and send him to jail. He must go to jail for his actions. He has many more similar videos, a predator hiding in plain sight. He's made many questionable comments, yes. Lock him up and throw the keys away. You will be saving the lives of a lot of young girls. The excuse of making content is not enough. He must be arraigned and he must explain why there's multiple videos of him admitting to abusing minors. And so this situation, so he's supposed to be at NAPTIP today at their head office in Abuja. He has, again, as I said, even yesterday released a statement doubling down, saying that if he knew it was going to cause this much furor, that he would have said that he slept with a 12-year-old. And it's just telling, number one, of the kind of person he is, of the kind of character that he has. You're so drunk and caught up on this drug of clout, of social media. I won't say validation because there's nobody who's really validating him, but you're so caught up in this clout of trending that you don't care how it happens. So there's also someone, I think is Isaac Isaac Fayoshe. I saw his post this morning saying that apparently there is a young girl and that she and her mother may be approaching authorities. We don't know if it's true. He's claiming that he's just saying this for the controversy, but some are saying, of course, this is true given the nature of the kind of content he has previously put out. Go to NAPTIP. If he doesn't show up for NAPTIP, I hope NAPTIP is able and has it within their power to issue an arrest warrant for him because he needs to come and sit down and explain.
Yeah, and he needs to explain. And I hope that, I mean, there are processes. I hear people calling for his arrest and all of that. Yeah, he should pay for his actions, but there's a process to follow, and that process is what we should subject ourselves to, because sometimes the call is louder than, oh, you should arrest him now, we don't even want to know, but there are processes to follow and procedures. And part of what they said, we saw reactions. Someone said, oh, yeah, tomorrow we'll hear that the video was doctored. Nothing is impossible. It's how best you prove your case in court. People have said that, oh, yeah, I mean, he's not the first person to do this, but now who then catch the thief? It's, like I said, from the fullness of the mouth. Or the heart.
So the mouth speaketh.
Yeah,
and then that point he made about the hypocrisy, for him to be on social media and saying that Nigerians do not in fact speak out against early childhood marriage in the North just tells you, again, the kind of person he is and where his mind aligns. Are you're telling me you have not seen Nigerians speak out? There was one a couple months ago that they now came out to say that the lady was just, I think maybe she had a disorder in which she looks younger than she is. Nigerians speak out every single time any of those stories make it on social media.
Again, would you blame him? He doesn't take Nigerians seriously because he knows that he's not a serious person and he still has tons of followers who encourage his every move, right? And to be honest, I really hope, because it's even one thing to hear that the video is doctored, is another thing to hear anything at all. I really hope that there is transparency in the process. Even if eventually he's found innocent, carry every single Nigerian along. We deserve to know. This is the impetus with which and the description is too detailed to be a lie. So whether or not it's true, I don't know, but Nigerians need to be carried along. Since you claim that Nigerians do not take it seriously, we're going to show you.
It's you that we take it.
Exactly. We will use you as a scapegoat.
I think over time, accountability has been so watered down in the Nigerian system. In our society, you see, with every news we've said today, is because we are trying to hold someone accountable with WAEC, with Osun, with Speed Darlington. But it takes a higher level now, because we're talking about kids. We're talking about safety of the society. It cannot do this. This shouldn't happen.
And again, I just think what was the word you used just now? I can't remember. But the temerity, the audacity, the impetus you have to set up a ring light and decide to tell a story just involving an underage child and a
detailed, yes.
And then there's a dismissiveness. I called the hotel staff to clean up, and I gave her 2K.
Yeah, he was saying so because he was, like you said, Tam kept saying, it shows the kind of
character, who he is.
He has gotten away with so much.
Over time.
You see him post videos and say he cannot pay for, just really, really annoying things that Speed Darlington does, and society laughs about it, like,
people share. It goes back to what Blessing said. We first took this story today, it's Friday, on Wednesday, right? And she said, who are the people who are making celebrities? It gets to a point that we need to start even questioning who we make celebrities, why somebody is a celebrity, why somebody is popular. Someone responded when they posted that cut on our social media and said that there are different types of celebrities and people are celebrities for different reasons. Okay, yes, they're celebrities for different reasons, but what do they reflect of our society? And what do they show as examples for the next generation? What kind of celebrity are they? We need to ask ourselves why certain things seem to be the things that we we're pulled to.
Exactly.
Why are we pulled to the content of a speed Darlington? Why are we pulled to the content of men who dress as women and make a mockery of being a woman? Why are we pulled to certain types? Why are Nigerians pulled to Bobrisky's content?
Exactly.
Because for everything you want to say, it is Nigerians that made Bobrisky popular.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, he posted
And
something
also-
recently, and someone, and they were just talking in the comment section. Then someone came to the comment section and said, I'm surprised that Nigerians, we speak this way.
Yeah.
He's on private. So you requested to follow him.
Yes.
And then you're coming to now
Thank
thank
you.
him. Does it make sense?
Thank you. Because so one thing that Nigerians are, that I would say Nigerians are enablers. Thankfully, this issue of circulating, child content has reduced. There was a time that a child is abused. Instead of you to just talk about it and criticize it, you will start circulating the videos. It's like you're getting a kind of gratification from seeing those videos. That's number one. Number two, Nigerians are not, no matter how much they make mouth and all that, they do not understand cancel culture. Go to the Western world. When they cancel you, they cancel you.
That's your big. There's a guy who recently went after Doechii. I can't remember the comment he made about her, but something about her not being attractive or something. The guy has come back. He has lost like 3 brand deals.
Thank
you. He has lost numbers in the hundreds of thousands.
What?
They cancel. She's right.
Yes,
We actually don't do
we
cancel
don't.
culture.
The last time was it Mobazi and they're like, oh, unfollow this, unfollow that, and eventually everybody just pipes down. We do not, that is the power people have over celebrities.
And cancel culture is a form of consequence. On
exactly. It's accountability.
Yes, and to bodies, because you don't only cancel songs that talk about the government. You also cancel songs that
glorify certain things.
Yes, certain things. But we don't do all of this. Yes, we've entered the final moment of Jasiri for this week. I know. Let's move to a story that has captured attention internationally this week. Where do step-parents step in, when the spotlight comes on the child, and how do families navigate the unseen labor of love, especially when it goes unnoticed? In a viral video this week, a man, a truck driver, opened up about missing his stepdaughter's graduation. Not because he forgot, not because he didn't care, but because, according to him, there were only 8 tickets available and he wasn't given one. According to him, he has been in her life since she was 4 months old. Married her mother when she turned 2, helped raise her, support her, love her. He took time off to be there for a milestone, but when the moment came, the 8 tickets went to the mother, her 2 sisters, the biological father, an uncle, an aunt, grandmother, and a daughter's boyfriend. His stepdaughter's boyfriend. It wasn't invited.
So what followed wasn't an outburst. It was rage. And it wasn't even rage. It was not rage. But just quiet hurts and a decision. He removed her from his car and health insurance. Told her mother she's grown, she's graduated, and if her biological father had a seat at her big day, maybe he should also take the seat in her life. But here's what struck us the most. He said, I'm not mad, just deeply, genuinely hurt. Many people have lent their voices on the issue online. We won't take those reactions because of time, but I want us to talk about it's time. I want to hear what the ladies have to say.
I would like to see some.
You want to see some reactions?
Yeah,
okay, let's go very quickly.
Please,
It's me
guys.
that I'll read. I'll speed read now. Let's take some reactions quickly. You think like a woman, probably why you played stepdad all those years instead of building your own legacy. Don't drop that child because she didn't forget who her birth father was. Now you wasted all that time to lose her and everyone's respect that you pandered for the last 18 years. This is a man. There's no way it's men that speak like this. I understand his perspective, but I feel that the situation could have been handled much differently. It reads as if he's punishing the stepdaughter for decisions she didn't make alone. When you take away things as punishment for disappointment, it teaches children that they must be perfect to receive love. A 17 or 18-year-old likely lacks the tools to navigate a blended family, and they shouldn't be expected to. So now your wife's daughter cannot live in the home. As a parent, you don't get to say this is what I did and that's what I did for this child. All that comes from the heart. And if you throw it back in somebody's face about what you did for them, it's not really from the heart. Also, you need to be directing your anger towards your wife because I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, she knew what was going on and you never mentioned if her biological dad was a deadbeat. Either he could have very well been there raising his child and you just so happened to get with the mom. It's something definitely missing from the story. Let's stop at that because of time. That was the main thing that raised issues for me is where is the mother in all of this?
Yes.
If he has been in her life since she was 4 months and he married the mom at 2 and she's graduating at 18, that's 16 years. If the child doesn't have the mental capacity to understand relationships, the mother should have insisted. the mother should have insisted that he be given a ticket. So I can blame children because children and their biological parents and a step parent, those relationships are very, they can be tenuous. You can do everything you want, you can do. You may not be the cause of the divorce or the cause of the separation, but the child will hate you because you are taking the space in their life of that person who they wish was there. But that respect, whoever should have enforced it should have been the mom.
I think I agree with the second to the last comment that said there's something missing in the story. What if this was a case of the two fathers don't get along, and instead of having a drama on a big day, it was carefully excused for the biological father to be there. It's not right, but what if it was a case of the two men couldn't have coexisted
in the same space?
So what do we think they couldn't coexist for all these
16 years.
Exactly, then it's a problem. He should have maybe left there because nobody's talking about the emotional torture, right? Like he's still in her life, right? I think he puts her in his health insurance or something like that. So if you're doing all of that, you're going all out for a child, and that's why I think that's why so many men and women find it hard raising other people's children. Because if you're raising your own, you're not expecting anything. It's not like those days they'll say, oh, you're my investment. You know that you're raising them out of pure love. But then you raise them not with expectation, but then they end up not prioritizing you as much. It hurts more because they're not your children. You decide to take up that responsibility. And then in turn, they don't see you as that. Like, you're not all that.
Yeah, that's it. I'm
a pain
of blessings. Like, I don't think the mother of the girl regarded him as importantly, because when we're going through that, I felt like, oh God, I felt bad for the guy because this is investing. He didn't seem like they have children together, but if you're putting that much in your stepchild, maybe you wanted to make a difference, or and the woman had seen that you're putting everything in, and she was just sitting down and enjoying the ride. Last, in Nigeria, they'll say, who sent you? As cold as it is, who sent you? You should have seen the signs that, okay. So it hurts, but he'll be okay.
And I think we should pay attention to conversations like this because right now we are in a pandemic of baby mama, baby father. Even though these kids seem young, they would, have problems like this in the future and learn how to manage it from now because, you might find yourself in this situation.
And I think beyond even family dynamics, it also, I think it trickles down to friendships too. I had a similar experience and oh my God, I don't even want to talk about the hurt. So I think that people should now, we've been talking about it for the longest time. Someone who is your acquaintance is your acquaintance, not your friend. I think people should learn to start defining relationships.
But how do you know, when you love someone, you love their child.
Yeah, well, now that is putting on glasses.
Then don't expect anything.
Or maybe has he been there for several milestones, and the father had asked, like, this is our graduation, I want to be there. But maybe some communication is missing. The story is definitely not complete.
Okay, we'll pick it up if there's an update. A lot of people have had a lot to say on this particular story this week across the world. But for us, it's a wrap this week. From disturbing update on Hamdiya Sida Sharif case to bringing the issue of menstrual hygiene and period poverty front and center. We've also marked Mental Health Awareness Month with Dr. May back at the table talking children's mental health on Children's Day and bringing you some hot topics to dig into. We've delivered, so don't say we didn't deliver. We're going to do it all again starting on Monday at 10 a.m. West African time. But first, we enjoy the weekend, relax, refresh, and reset for the first week of June. Have a great weekend.
And
we'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.